Hello guys, today I'll tell you how to manage your headquarters. This video is for people who never touched headquarters before. Headquarters are really useful for two things. You could want to upgrade your headquarters if you want better prices on your vehicles, or if you want to gain passive income. To have cheaper repairs on your vehicles, you need to look into your hangars. You have a plane hangar, helicopter hangar, and garage, which is for vehicles. Basically, all of these require personnel, and the more personnel you have and the better skill they have, the cheaper are going to be your upgrades and all of your repairs. To gain this personnel, you need to go to your command. In command center, I can see all of my candidates which I can hire. For example, let's look at this candidate. He is pretty much bad at everything, but he is alright in medical. So I could hire him, and he will appear in my barracks. Your barracks is well, all of your employees are stored. There they are. To get better personnel right here, because you potentially at the start will have everyone with -Ds or Cs, maybe Bs, something like that. Pretty bad. To get better personnel, what you need to do is hire people who are good in command. For example, the best person here in command is Steven Garcia, and she's A. This is not bad, so I would hire them, and then in barracks I would configure them to work as an employee in command. This will give me on the next reroll better candidates, and I could hire another person who would have even higher level in command and put them here. This is how you get better employees. Donald Foster is unassigned to any job. What do I need to do if I want to, for example, assign them to the infirmary? Is press assign and press infirmary. Infirmary has two branches, doctor or patient. If I want to put him doctor, I can press doctor. And in my infirmary, he's gonna appear here as a doctor. If I want to heal someone, I would assign them to infirmary as a patient, and he would be healed. These employees can be used for other purposes, not only command. For example, deliveries, infirmary, as I already showed, mechanics, defenses, and logistics. You could assign them to work in deliveries. In deliveries, you could see all of your resources, which you could gain throughout the world. Here, they would be stored in your logistics. Your logistics is like your storage. You can see here your max storage, and how much of various materials you have. You could set limits, you could dispose of stuff. To gain these materials, you would have to complete missions or find them throughout the world. These materials could be in the form of a truck. For example, this truck is loaded up with construction materials, which I could steal and bring back to the base. Or these could be in the form of an object lying around. For example, this is a jerry can, which contains 3 fuel. Also, you can find keys so that you can open some apartments or different vaults where you could find equipment cases and cash bags. These vehicles could contain different things, as I know construction materials and the fuel is the only things that I saw. All of these things could be brought back to base and sold to gain some extra cash or material. What you could do with these materials is either sell them to other countries for various prices. For example, construction material per unit you get $100, precious metals per unit you get $750, and fuel gives you $150, equipment $300. So there you go. If you want to sell off some stuff, for example, right now I don't need this much fuel. If you have personnel, you can assign them to sell all of your unneeded materials. By the end of these 6 hours, Teresa Howard will give me $3,600. The other way in which you could use these materials is upgrading your stations. For example, I could go right here in the helicopter hangar, go into upgrades, and upgrade it. This would give me more staff capacity and more helicopter slots. Different facilities give you different things in upgrades, but usually they give you more staff capacity, and staff capacity allows you to boost this facility. For example, right now I have max 63 resources in my logistics. That's the maximum of resources I can have, and this is configured by how good is my personnel. The maximum amount of personnel I can have is 8, and it would be actually 4 if my facility would be on the first level, but because it's on the second level I can have 8 personnel, and the more personnel you have and the better it is, the higher the capacity of my logistics is. Another example would be barracks. On the first level you have only 15 employees that could be in your barracks, but if you upgrade it, it gives you 30 total employees that you could have in your barracks. So that's where you upgrade your stations. The first thing you should upgrade is the airbase, because without the airbase you cannot upgrade anything else. If my airbase on the second level, then I can upgrade everything else to second level. If it's on the third level, then I can upgrade everything to the third level. Next is your operations. Your operations is how you gain passive income. Right here, your employees who are good in fighting could be gaining you materials passively. They would be scavenging them and bringing them back to base. For example, this employee is bringing precious metals, this one construction materials, and another one who's bringing precious metals. You can see the rate at which they will bring the stuff per day, and then all of them will get stored in logistics, and there you can either deliver them to different countries and gain money, or you could upgrade your facilities. Personally, I recommend, if you're not trying to gain materials, is to invest in fuel. Fuel fills up your storage really fast, 12.7 per day, and as we know, it costs $150. This is not the maximum. The most expensive is precious materials. It gives you 750 per piece, but the thing is, it takes really long to acquire it. For example, here we can see C++. Select precious materials, it will be 1.2 per day, and this one is 12.7. So if you're logging into the game a lot and you can assign your deliveries a lot, then I would recommend to invest in fuel, because it will fill up your storage a lot and really quickly, and you could just sell it off and it will gain you as much income as possible. But if you log into the game once in a week or twice in a week, then it's actually better to invest in precious metals, because precious metals are gonna fill up your storage slowly, so you're not gonna get as much money, but you don't need to log in as much, because your storage is not gonna get clogged up. So there you have it. This is the essentials. The only other thing is that you need to know is the defenses. Sometimes you're gonna be raided. It's a passive thing. There's no one gonna be running around your base shooting you and stuff. That's not a thing. It's just that if you have a successful raid, then nothing much will happen. Just some of your employees are gonna get damaged, and if it's a unsuccessful, then some of your employees are gonna gain way more damage, which could potentially lead to their death. So you could lose some employees, which is really bad. That's why you have an infirmary to heal them, and also that's why you need to invest in some of your personnel defending your base. Here you can see the probability of the raid, and then the probability for you to win this raid. Two last things is your gunsmith. Gunsmith just allows you to have more loadouts, and another thing is research lab. Research lab requires a lot of resources, and it's hard to upgrade it. For example, you need airbase level 3 to upgrade it to the second level, which is crazy, and it costs $30,000. But in the end you can gain some new stuff. For example, you could get a grenade launcher, a drone, laser rangefinder, and all of these really cool tools which you could use. Thanks for watching. I hope you got everything I was trying to say. Leave a comment and I'll gladly answer whatever questions you have.